going to succeed. But with that, it's going to be our third quarterfinal match for the top 8 European bracket. It's going to be Royal taking on Myth.
Yeah, and this is surprising. Ryoma has not been picked. This is the first time that he's not been played in a game. So interesting change of events here when it comes to this 6-ban format. Really excited. And look at that nice Mina pull over there onto the Malik, pulling him out of position. So it looks like none of the teams are going to invade or do anything aggressive here. Tulin, Simdro is going to stay in his lane, farm up, get this level 2, and then probably make a rotation play to eventually catch someone out guard, or we'll see how the team is going to rotate here.
So we're here at 45 seconds in. We saw delayed starts. We saw early aggressive starts on a lot of these counter junglings, but it looks like it's going to be that very early sub 1 minute. They're going to be able to go and secure a little bit of that might buff for the Violet.
Myth did a really good play there. They're able to invade and do a really quick and decisive rotation, taking the red buff away from Lindis here. So Lee does not have that red buff. It's going to set him behind slightly here when it comes to the jungle rotation and level. But they're going to counter invade here to try to get that red buff, and they don't get it. Yeah, Violet is able to secure it again, and that's a huge play.
Oh.
And do they get first blood? They do not get first blood.
Tick of the damage. Not going to be enough, just enough of a heal. Violet is going to do her best at making sure that everyone stays themselves far away. The range with that one ability provides so much extra damage for the team. You can see already very early, just sub 2 minutes into the game, the damage that she provides. But first blood is going to go into hands of Royal Lee, picking up that kill.
Yeah, that's huge because it gives there's 300 gold to the person that got the first blood. So that's a huge pickup for Royal. Even though they did lose the red golem on their side of the jungle in the early rotation, they are a 200 gold ahead because of that first blood.
Now, we didn't really talk about it too much in the draft phase because it was a very quick and go sort of situation. But I have to ask you, how does this Mina ban work out for the side of Myth with that last pick?
Yeah, the Mina is a very interesting pick. It's something that they probably practice and have synergy on because she can pull a Death Sith and pull an enemy opponent right onto her and then taunt them, and that basically immobilizes them for a good 2 seconds, which allows their team to then destroy and blow up that carry that is taunted. And Mina taunts in AoE, so if a team dies of Violet, she can just turn the taunt on and taunt the entire enemy team to focus her instead of the Violet, and that gives Violet a lot of breathing room to get out of trouble and then dish out the damage.
And so now we are dead even at the 3-minute mark here, Royal versus Myth. The winner going on to play in the semifinals on Saturday. We've got a second broadcast. We'll be broadcasting 2 times a week. Going to have the quarterfinal matches on Wednesdays, and then the relegation as well as the semis and finals happening on those Saturdays.
Yeah, Saturday is going to be a ton of fun because that's when we're going to see the highest level of tier play from all these teams from NA and Europe, because the top 4 teams are the ones that will be advancing to fight each other in the semifinals and finals. So I'm really excited to see which team is going to come on top, and I'm predicting that every team is going to go back and forth because based on what I'm seeing, SK, even though dominant and the favorite, Royal and Nova have a good chance of becoming #1 as well.
They do indeed. Every team has the opportunity to put themselves in a much more advantageous position than what originally thought. But now it's going to be the first big team fight of the match. It's going to be a 4 versus 4 skirmish on the bottom side near this Abyssal Draken. Scott Crew's going to take down Lee. Namir's so low, but he's going to recall into that bush. The rest of the teams are going to back away and get themselves off, but that's going to be 1-0 in that little scuffle in favor of Myth.
Yeah, that was a nice Malik engage. However, the team didn't follow up on that front line, and Lindis was taken down due to Wonder Woman being able to use the execute and really focus on the Lindis there. So actually a really good turnout for Myth there. They didn't lose anything, and they got a kill and got away barely alive.
And so now a much slower start than what we saw in the first 2 quarterfinal matches of the day. All of these teams are playing quite cautious, quite safe. Ganji and Numir are going to catch themselves up. We're going to see a nice little channel damage there by Sky Crew. Get himself off, clear themselves that minion wave. The Abyssal Dragon is still up and available. the longest time that we've actually seen since the first Blue Dragon. We've
Yeah.
usually had one taken pre
Yep.
4.5, 5 minutes, but it's going to be the Spirit Sentinel instead. And just as I say that, almost on cue, near towards the bottom side of the map,
however, they're
Abyssal
trading
Dragon.
the Abyssal Dragon for the Sentinel. The Abyssal Dragon is a better objective, so really nice play by Royal there. However, getting the Sentinel as a trade isn't bad because that doesn't put them as much behind. The Sentinel does give the team gold, but does not give experience like the Dragon does. So the Dragon is a better objective, but it's better than nothing.
Seed Wedgements have been deployed. Myth taking a little bit of damage. That Wonder Woman half. 3 members on the bottom side of the map now. There's a little bit of health and regen available left. Onto this Wonder Woman.
And look at that
now,
nice pull by the Mina. And they miss and are not able to kill the Lumbar. And there's no wave. They're not pushing it with the wave, so they're not able to take this tower here. And if they hang around, they may get rotated and caught upon. But I think they're going to stay here and try to take this tower potentially. Yep.
Minions are coming up on the middle side of the map. Violet has the opportunity to help make himself.
With Omen and Violet there, they're going to take that tower with ease. Every third hit that Omen does true damage and stacked, so that's what makes him such a strong dueler. One-on-one, he's one of the best duelers in the game and can take down towers so quickly because of that passive.
First tower being done in favor of Myth, the dark horse that we weren't sure how they would perform against Royal, but already they found themselves up even in gold, up in one objective. As we can see, the gold is dead even because one tower taken in favor of Myth, but the Abyssal Dragon and the amount of resources that it provides is definitely in favor of Royal, as now we are rounding up to the moment where a lot of these teams are going to get themselves and secure that first item for that first power spike, which is going to be super important for those scuffles.
Yeah, for sure. Watch how Simjo, you see the 5 kind of stars flying around Tulin. When he hits an enemy with an ability, he gains a charge of Thunderclap. It's called Thunderclap, it's his passive, and it prioritizes and targets enemies' heroes. So Tulin does a ton of damage if you're able to land your abilities. And his Ion Blast, you know, the 3 blasts that he shoots out does a lot of AoE damage as it passes through enemies. So once Tulin is able to land his abilities and charge up his Thunderclap passive and then use those 5 Thunderclaps to then damage an enemy, he puts out a massive amount of damage.
Oh, but a nice little rotation coming out of Royal. Lee's going to take down me, as now this was, again, a solid rotation. These rotations with these teams, as quickly as they can get to lane, is hyper important. Second Abyssal Dragon looks like it's going to fall in favor of Royal, down to 10% HP. The secure is there by Simjo. That Tulin, we talked about it in the Hero Select. Definitely someone that we have to keep the mark on, but here is where things might start to get frisky. It looks like they want to try to pull themselves on the fight. Alex is going to have to be forced to rock away, but it's knock-up after knock-up.
Oh, wow. Yeah,
damage aspect after damage, and that's going to be Alex going down.
Yeah, that is a weakness of Wonder Woman. If she's engaged upon, she doesn't have the best escape. She has a really good initiation kit because of her lasso and all that, but she is not good at running away or trying to chase someone that's really mobile, and this is the weakness of Wonder Woman. So if you see her alone like that, caught out, just dive her, and then she won't be able to do much.
So now we have an onslaught happening by Team Royal. They've already secured themselves the bot tier 1. Tier 2 is on the mark, and do they want to get a couple more spots off this? They do. W's going to go down. It's also going to be Numir as well, so that's going to be a 2-for-0 in favor of Royal.
Yeah, Royal's doing a good job. Their team rotations have been on point. You see, if you look at the late game, especially after Darkslayer, 6 minute when Darkslayer spawned, how are these teams rotating? Right, the 3-man, the 4-man rotations, they're clearly pressuring, you know, bot tower, top tower, getting ganks, taking the tower right after that. That's how you want to play as a team in the late game. You want to have a clear, decisive rotation pattern where your team moves as a unit and then uses the numbers advantage to take advantage of enemy mispositions or misplays, exactly like they did in the last few fights there against Wonder Woman and the tier 2 tower.
So here we are coming up on the 9-minute mark. It has been a slow play by Royal, a much more patient strategy than what we've seen earlier in the first 2 quarterfinals of the day, but efficiency is still off the mark and in their favor. We can pull up the KDAs in just a second to let you guys know exactly who is getting off, and there we go. We can see 3, 2, and 2.
Wow.
Everybody getting involved. 1-0-4 on that Tulin.
That.
Nice little engage. Numir's almost going to go into the Shintaka. Oh, the snipe.
That was a 3-man knockup by Lubu there. When Lubu uses his first ability and uses the 3rd time, the 3rd one is a knockup hit against enemy team, and that's going to allow them to put pressure on this tower because they got so many of the team members low. And this is what I love. You want to camp. Your goal is to put pressure, right? push the top lane, wait in the bush, and then take the tower. It's exactly what Laura was doing. So textbook from Team Royal here, and they're doing a really good job of setting themselves up to get these ganks, get the enemy team low, and then pushing the objective lead with towers taking down.
5,000 gold lead in favor of Royal. They've got the tier 2 tower available. They want it on the menu, but first they want blood.
Wow.
Royal's doing everything they can. Myth is turned into a distant memory, as it looks like 3 members, no 4. Possibly the 5th is going to go down. No, Violet's going to be able to get away, but regardless, that was a dominant effort by Royal. They're going to rotate down towards the mid lane and secure themselves another piece of victory.
I mean, that Malik ultimate, the shock ultimate, jumping out, stunning the entire team to disengage. Lindis then folk target locking and killing the enemy heroes. Such good play by Royal there. I mean, really good job. That countering, this is why Malik is so good. His ultimate is a good engage and also a very good counter engage against enemy team. And exactly what happened to turn around that engage by Myth there, and Royal just pulls it away.
And another effort by Royal. 3-0-6 is that Tulin. We saw, we knew, we predicted, we hoped, we wanted, and it happened. That #1 pick on the blue side went down in favor of Simjo and Royal.
Yeah, Tulin is like a L'Oreal. He can carry really hard because if you don't kill him, and he gets his Thunderclap passive, and then he kills you with his ultimate. If he kills a enemy hero with his ultimate, he basically gets a 80% cooldown on that ultimate. He can just use it almost immediately again, which is huge and allows him to basically 1v4 or 1v3.
And this is where the team of Royal has an opportunity to end the game. 11.5 minutes into the match, and it's going to be the Darkslayer going down in favor of Royal. 32,000 gold to the 25,000 of Myth. And so with such the gold lead, the advantage, as well as the efficient execution that they've had on the board, big possibility for them to finish things strong.
Yeah, in this matchup, Violet actually has more damage than Lindis. Lindis has built a Frost Cape, which basically means every time you use an ability and you hit an enemy, it does damage and also slows them. So Frost Cape is a very good CC tool to allow your enemy team to focus the person that's getting slowed. And let's see if they're going to focus the tower here or make a really quick dive onto enemy hero. Yep, they're going to back off, actually.
They're being very patient. They don't want to overstep. Overzealousness. They say curiosity killed the cat, but overzealousness killed the zebra, because it's going to be the ones of Royal deciding to just keep the lanes pushed. There is a Mega Wave actually being built in the bottom side of the map, so they're going to have to react to that very quickly. You can actually see it looks like, I believe, Lubu actually going down to try to stop that.
If this is happening, what Royal should do instead, because Violet is so good at clearing wave because of her tactical fire, it just pierces through the damage of the wave. And Preda, again, Preda is probably one of the best wave clears in the game. Instead of pushing the waves, you're feeding Myth, right? You want to hold the waves, wait for Abyssal to spawn, wait for Dragon to spawn, or Darkslayer, and then take those, and then just hold the wave. Don't even push it, because you're starving the enemy team out when you're holding the wave. But when you're pushing the waves like this, like they're doing right now, and you're not able to get the tier 3 tower, any damage on it, you're basically just feeding Team Myth, and that's exactly what they want to do. But they're going to hard engage here.
Oh, it looks like they're going to want the battle. You see the double knockout being happened by Hakai, but it looks like the tower is going to go down first. Lee finishing off that objective, but then the focus becomes on the team. They're going to kite themselves backward as the members of Myth are trying to dive on to the mark. 3 members are going to be down already, but the health bars for Royal are very low. The onslaught comes out. 1 member left remaining. A nice little kite comes out, but he cancels it out, and regardless, that's going to be the sweep. 2 are going to go down, but the minion wave is going to come up, and Royal.
He got a mega kill. Very well played by Simjo. And then Violet just had to auto attack him once to get this kill. And look at the death timers. I think they're long enough. They're able to be able to finish this. However, Tulin does magic damage, and it won't do too much damage versus the core, but I think it's enough here to finish the game, because they do have a siege minion, and that siege minion takes forever to kill, and this is going to be Royal's game.
I don't know. Alex is up in 2 seconds. Is there an opportunity? Just as we get hopeful, it doesn't matter. We were there, but it was Royal that took the victory. The back of Tulin.